Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to yet another video in this series of how to 3x3 as a team. Now, we've just come into the plains. We're going to have a quick little look, see if we can find ourselves a terrorist. Once again, faffing about with the stupid recording controls. I've forgotten to look for the terrorist as soon as we came in here. And like a dumbass, I now can't see it. Annoyingly, the Eidolons, especially when you first come in here, they can appear literally anywhere where there is a lake. So I'm just going to have a quick look around the lakes, see if I can't find the damn thing. Unfortunately, they really can go quite far as well. They're not the quickest creatures, but yeah. Sometimes it can be a bit of a pain. Now then, so your team wants to do a 3x3 and they need a vault. What is your job as a vault? Well, quite simply, your job is this. There you go, that's your job. No, just kidding. When you're asked to play as a vault, main thing that you need to be doing is putting down shields ready for your team, whether it's your turn or somebody else's, assuming you're using a void strike on your team, which will be virtually everybody except for the DPS should be using that. You're effectively going to chase down the Eidolon and constantly make sure that there is a shield in place. Where possible, you want to be aiming for the chest. If your team's in front of it, you want to be chasing in front. If your team are coming from behind, you want to chase, well, from behind. You want to make sure those shields are in place, like so. And that, quite frankly, is pretty much all that you want to do. Just remember, when you're placing your shields, you want to aim for the chest and be as close to the thing as possible. Particularly if your team are using 777 amps, because they need to be really close in order to hit the thing. So, and bearing in mind, if they're using that, they have to effectively travel that through your shield. Just like that. So that's why your shield has got to be as close to the Eidolon as possible. Sometimes the legs can stand on you and it can knock you back ever so slightly. It can be a bit annoying. But ultimately, that is pretty much your job. Just to follow around, make sure the shields are there. Now, if your DPS doesn't have, say, a Riven or whatever in there, Rubico, or just in general is really struggling to break the parts, there are a couple of mods and extra bits and pieces you can use on your vault. You can maybe bring Raw, just bits and pieces to buff your team, but other than that, your primary job is simply to put those shields down in place, aiming roughly for the chest, or at least a 45-degree angle, just to make sure that at all points in time your team can get through and get that mine shot hitting that Eidolon. And that's the same from Terry all the way through to Gary and Harry. It doesn't change, simply follow the Eidolon, get that damage in by, you know, putting your shields down there for your team. Or of course, when it's your turn, you want the shield there for yourself and you're going to do the same thing. So you just want to get the thing through the shield. And it's as simple as that. And that, for all intents and purposes, is your job as a vault. Now, if your team like I say, wanting to do a 3x3, which is the whole point of these series of videos, one of the things you'll be expected to do is right at the start of the match, you'll be expected to stack up your Void Strike, which comes from the Madurai focus tree. Notice that little number at the top gets higher. You simply stay in your Void Walk. Trick for this, open options, back out, and you can walk around as if normal. The next thing you'll be expected to do, after the DPS has tagged roughly where the terrorist is, they'll be up there somewhere, ready to tag him the second he spawns. And this is now your queue, and the Harrow and the Trinity's queue, you're all going to go and do the same thing. You want to be in your operator and void dash all the way over to this little horn structure over here. And this is called, well, horns. If you don't have your unbound passives from Naramon to give you the increased dash radius, what you can do instead is just simply get in your Arcwing and dash as quickly as possible. So, to sum it up, the start of the match, stacking Void Strike. Again, AFK method is like that. And if you need to get over to the horns, which you will do, especially if you're doing multiple runs, dash over, quick as you can, and then only be in your Warframe when you get here. And hopefully what that'll do is spawn some Vombalus. It hasn't in this case, but there's only one of me. When all 3 other members of the team do it, it usually spawns a group of Vombalus ready for the DPS to charge their first Eidolon lure. Hope that helped. Relatively short video once again, but there's really not that much to Vault. Just simply put your shield down. That's it. But make sure it's facing the right way. Roughly 45-degree angle, aiming at the chest, and as close to the Eidolon as possible, just so that when they're using that, you can see the orb doesn't come very far from your shield. So just bear that in mind when you're planting it down. You've only got that much distance away from it, so that's why the shield needs to be as close to the Eidolons as possible. Hope that helped. Thank you for watching. Take care.